deze tonen. Niet deze tonen. هذا مقام ألماني. في مقام العربي، هذا مقام ألماني. Freude. Deine sauber binden wieder geteilt. Eine sauber binden Afwan, sorry, this video is going to be in English too, so I'm sorry I was speaking in Arabic. But this video, by the way, this was Beethoven, Symphony Number 9. Everybody should hear it. It's magic, really. The video is titled Five Proof that God Exists. As you notice with the religious videos, they always start with emotional, heavy, sad music, trying to appeal to your emotions. You know, like feel sad, feel broken, you know, they appeal to your emotions. So the video starts like that. It starts with the intro. So you see, you hear?
All of you are engaged in running your mouths, doing your business, multiplying, buying houses, cars, business, whatever you're doing. And when you're told about God, religion, life, morality, you're saying, look, I ain't got no time for that. I ain't got no time for that. Now, how do we know that there's a God? And how do we know that there's a creator?
God is the cause of all beings.
An atheist must believe the universe came from nothing and by nothing.
Okay, I'll stop you there. Atheists, plural, every atheist must believe that the universe came from nothing by nothing. By the way, the video is supposed to be Islamic video, and they're using a Christian apologetic, William Lane Craig. I don't get it, Muslims, people. Are you that broke? You're gonna use arguments from a Christian guy to prove your God? Really? And here it shows also that how the arguments are really subjective. Really, the arguments, it's not even a proof, it's an argument. There is a difference between a proof and an argument. So it shows you right away how the argument here is subjective, because the same exact argument that the Christian is using, you can put it, you just change the God, take out the Lord, okay, Jesus Christ, put Allah, you can put Yahweh, you can put Buddha, you can put Elohim, you can put Adonai, you can put Zeus, you can put Brahma, you can put Shiva, you can put Hanuman, you can put any God, because it's the same argument, it's philosophical argument, it's a thought argument, okay? So it shows you here that it's not a proof. A proof stands on itself. A proof, everybody will agree upon it, okay? Whether you're a believer or a non-believer, whether you're an atheist or a faithful guy following a certain religion. So it doesn't matter. That's a proof. So here you see they are using William Lane Craig a Christian apologetic, which in many interviews he said Islam is a false religion. Many interviews he said that. And he said it in many interviews that Allah is an evil God. Yet, subhanallah, you use him to prove your arguments. Wow, wow, to the double standards that the Muslim people are following. Wow.
But surely that doesn't make sense. Out of nothing.
And by the way, atheism means just atheism. It means just a lack of belief or disbelief in God or gods. Got nothing to do with science. Okay? It got nothing to do with science. So it depends on every single atheist to give his own interpretation how the universe came to be. If you ask me, a guy who knows physics, if you ask me how the universe came to be, I'm not going to tell you from nothing came something. I'm not going to tell you that. Simply. And I am an atheist. And here you use the argument from, well, I don't know how to say it, forgot its name actually. But anyway, here is you use the argument of ignorance that you really, every atheist must say that the universe came from nothing. Nobody says claim from nothing. Actually, it's you religious people. It's religions actually says first there was nothing, then came something. It's actually you religious folks who claim that claim. That really unscientific and physics claim. It's actually you, not us. Most of the atheists, they resort to science to explain how the universe came to be. Big Bang Theory doesn't say the universe came from nothing. It states clearly it came from the singularity. Singularity, it's not nothing. Even the theorem of Alex Vilenkin, Alan Guth, Boerde, even their theorem doesn't say that the universe came from nothing. And that's a theorem in physics. Even that theorem doesn't say the universe came from nothing. So I don't know which claim from which physics are you studying. I don't know actually, because there is no physics. Even Lawrence Krauss, when he said that the universe from nothing, he said it's a plausible. It's look how the scientist is modest here. Look at the modesty of science, okay, and physics. Even Lawrence Krauss claimed, he said, my claim, I don't say it's a certainty, I'm just saying it's plausible that the universe can come out of nothing. And his nothing, he explains it, he explained it also in physics, within the laws of physics. He didn't come with a claim that metaphysical being outside space and time, affected space and time, which you just claim it faithfully, you claim it based on faith, pure faith. Okay, you have no evidence for it whatsoever. Zero evidence. What is your evidence that this being is outside space and time? What is your evidence? One word is going to come to you. Take it on faith. Just be faithful. Just believe. Just believe. No evidence. Just believe. Anyway, continue.
That nothing come. So where did the universe come from? Why does the universe exist instead of just nothing? There must have been a cause which brought the universe into being. We can summarize our argument thus far as follows. Premise 1. Whatever begins to exist has a cause.
I stop you with premise 1. Whatever begins to exist has a cause. That doesn't go according with quantum physics. In quantum physics, there are such states that has no cause. Okay, cause and effect in quantum physics. You see, William Lane Craig is using the Kalam argument, the Islamic Kalam argument, and the Islamic Kalam argument is actually taken from Aristotle, from the prime mover stuff, with just a little bit tweaks here and there. Okay, it's the same exact arguments. Religious people, they have three arguments. They're gonna stick with it. Really. You're not going to hear any other arguments, literally. Three arguments. Cosmological argument, ontological argument, teleological argument. Those three arguments. Or the derivations of those arguments. Okay? Those three arguments. Those how broke religions are. Scientific arguments, zero. Scientific proofs, zero. And those only three philosophical arguments. Cosmological arguments, the prime mover stuff. Ontological arguments, why I am here, that means there is a God, etc., etc. And teleological argument, the argument of morality, etc., all that. You know, no, I think teleological means something else, but excuse me if I make a mistake. But anyway, it's all philosophical arguments. And it's also all subjective arguments. It's not objective arguments. They are all subjective. So it depends on the religion of the guy who speaks with them. It's the same argument. Just the names of the gods going to change. Okay, the Christian will come, use the same arguments. As the Muslim will come to you, use the same arguments. But instead of the Lord, it's going to become Allah. The Hindu will come, uses the same arguments. And instead of Allah and the Lord, it's going to become Brahma or Shiva or Ganesh, etc. The same exact arguments. Only the name of the gods and the values of the religion and the traditions, how to worship, etc., etc., is going to change. Other than that, it's the same exact arguments. No difference whatsoever.
2, the universe began to exist. 3, therefore, the universe has a cause.
So this cause should be beyond space and time. Eternal and self-existing necessary being. God is no true science.
In the creations of the heavens and earth, and the...
So this cause for the universe, it has to be outside space and time. What is your evidence for that? May I hear the evidence, the scientific evidence for that? It's going to be one answer. Faith. We just believe so. Without evidence. Just faith. Just because our holy book said that. Oh really? Wow. Wow. Really. And the funny thing here lies the core of the fallacy. They say everything has a cause. Whatever begins has a cause. Okay? Except, I plead specially only God that has no cause. Only my God has no cause. He is eternal. You see the fallacy, special pleading fallacy? You know? Like I put this concept on everything in the universe, on everything, except my God is outside the logic. Well then, admit honestly that your God is illogical in that sense. Be also modest enough and clear enough to say that your God is illogical, doesn't follow the laws of logic. It's simple.
The alternation of the night and day, and the ships which sail the seas to people's benefit, and the water which Allah sends down from the sky, by which He brings the earth to life when it was dead, and scatters about in it creatures of every kind, and the varying directions of the winds, and the clouds subservient between heaven and earth. There are signs for people who use their intellect.
There are uniform laws in nature which indicate that nothing comes by coincidence. Everything is created precisely. And beside this perfect creation, there's a perfect sustaining system for each and everything that remain in a beautiful order rather collapsing. The miracle of life. Science has no explanation of where did life came from, or what causes the living body to die. They have no reason for dying of the people. If someone's heart has stopped working, replace it. Bring him back to life. You cannot control the people's life. You even don't know the reason of life or death. The reason of life and death is the one and only God. When there is no God, there would be no purpose for life. The sun is there to produce energy and light. The trees are there to produce oxygen and fruit. The animals are there to produce food and clothes. The question is that who set these purposes? Who told them to do this or that? What is the purpose of our life? For rational minds, everything has a purpose And for sure there is a purpose for life, and there is a creator who set this purpose.
A human being, regardless.
Okay, so the second argument, or proof, or I don't know. Again, as I told you guys, teleological argument and ontological argument. That there is certain laws, so that means there is a lawgiver to the universe, etc., etc. And the other argument, the third argument, which is what is the purpose of life? If you are without God, you have no purpose in life. Well, the purpose in life, it's something philosophical. It depends on the guy or the girl themselves. You know, it's a personal thing. It's a personal issue. Even a godless guy who is a painter, okay, who paints beautiful paintings, portraits, etc. His purpose in life is to amuse the people with his art. That's his purpose. A guy who is a father of two kids, two beautiful kids, two daughters, two sons, a son and a daughter, okay? His purpose, he considered his purpose in life, even if he's godless, he considered his purpose in life is to give the best life to his kids, okay? To provide for them. That's his purpose in life, okay? A philosophical guy who is busy with philosophy and with a certain issue of philosophy, whether it's linguistics, morality, consciousness, etc. His purpose in life is to provide deep questions about those philosophical questions. A scientist, an astrophysicist, or a theoretical physicist, okay? His purpose in life is to enrich physics, okay? Even if he's God, even if he's a believer or non-believer, godless. So, God here doesn't provide purpose, okay? So God's purpose here is redundant, really. It's nonsense. I mean, and again, you you mentioned here a fallacy, you know, like birds, plants, humans. Who put their purpose here? Who? So you are literally begging the question again. That's a fallacy, by the way, a logical fallacy. Begging the question fallacy. When you ask who put the purpose, who provided this, who controlled the laws of physics, who created the laws of physics, here you beg the question fallacy, okay? That's begging the question fallacy. Because when you ask with who, that means I have to answer you with a person. And you say who provides, that means I have to ask you, I have to answer with a person who provides. Who created, then again I have to answer with a person and who is a creator. You see how you beg the question? You see how the fallacy, you fall in the fallacy? And you claim that your arguments, your proofs, so-called, it's very logical. Oh, really? Yeah, I can see that. Really, it's very logical, really.
Regardless of who they are, or where they are, or what they do, will have this curiosity. They'll want to know, why am I here? How did I get here? And do I have a purpose? And if so, what is it? The only one who would really be able to answer that question would be the Creator himself. If there is a Creator, it would be up to him to tell us why we were created and what he expects from us and what this life is really about. Allah has shown the people from the time of Adam until right now, has shown the people what he wants from them. And it's a very simple thing. And that is that worship be for him alone without any partners. In fact, we know this life to be a test from Almighty God. That's why we're born and that's why we die. Because there has to be a beginning and an end for us to be tested on.
So it has to be a test from God that we are here. A test. An exam from God to test us. I wonder if a God is omnipotent and omniscient, okay, why does he test us? Doesn't he know already the results of the test? If we say he doesn't know, then he's not omniscient. Simple logic. If he is omniscient, that means he knows already the test. He already knows the result of the test. he knows it already. He can see the future. He can read the future. He knows exactly when Hassan is going to be born, and he knows exactly what will Hassan do in his life, and he knows exactly when Hassan will die. So he knows all my life story, my line of my life story. He knows it from the beginning to the end. Okay? So where is the test here? Where is the test? When he knows the results already, why does he test it? Why does he test me? If he knows the result. A test, always, logically, that follows that a person who doesn't know the results of the test. Okay? If I am a teacher teaching a student to test him, okay, and then I test him because I don't know the results of the test. I don't know it. So I have to wait to see the results of the test. Even if he's a lazy student. Even if he's a lazy student. Or a clever student. It doesn't matter. Maybe it's a clever student. And he didn't read. He didn't prepare for his test. And he's going to give me bad results. Or even it's a lazy student. But he read really good. And he did the test. And he went out really well. So I as a teacher, don't know the future. I have to test my students. God, on the other hand, is omniscient. He knows the future already. That's by the way, that's your claims. That's not me, the atheist claim that. You Muslim claim that. He has the Lawh al-Mahfuz. That's what you claim, which means the holy, the preserved tablet. According to Islamic faith, there is a preserved tablet. In it is written from the second of creation until the end of times. Everything will happen, it's written in that tablet. Everything. Everything. Literally everything. So all our lives, all our deeds, all our stories, all our sins, okay, and blessings, all that is already written in that book since the second of creation. Which fucking test are you talking about in that case? I really don't get it. I really don't get it. If God knows the future, why does he test us? Why does he test us? What's the use? A test means a guy doesn't know the future. He doesn't know the results of his creation. So that's why he tests. He has to wait to see the results of the test. If he knows the results of the test already, then he's not omniscient. No, then he's omniscient. If he knows the results of the test. If he doesn't know the results of the test, then in that case, he's not omniscient in that case. So, why does he test us? And by the way, this logical fallacy, not a religious guy, not one, nor Christian, Jew, Muslim has an answer to that. Not even one. They all tell you, for a wisdom doesn't know, only he. For a wisdom, God knows why he does that. Because they don't have any logical explanation for that. They don't. Zero. They will tell you in Arabic, if you ask in Arabic, لماذا الله يمتحنني? Okay? They're going to answer you with one sentence. لحكمة لا يعلمها إلا هو. For a wisdom, only he knows it. Oh really? You consider that an answer? Really? You consider that's a logical answer? That's really an escape. A simple escape. You don't have any answer to the question. So you say, well, ask him. That's a wisdom. I don't know it, but wisdom only God knows. Why? You see the escapes? Anyway, continue.
The miracles of the Holy Quran. There are so many scientific miracles in Holy Quran from different branches of science, which all of them prove that Quran is the word of God.
There are more than 1,000 verses in the Quran which speak about science. After every scientific fact, you ask the question, who could have mentioned that in the Quran? The only reply the atheist can give you is the creator, the cherisher, the manufacturer, the inventor, the producer. This creator, this manufacturer, this producer, this inventor, we Muslims call him as Allah.
That's it. Oh, that's it. Those are all the claims. And by the way, that video of Zakir Naik, I already debunked it, and I already proved from your books, Muslims, from your books, I already proved that what he speaks about, it's all lies. It's all lies, literally. And I'm gonna do another, because that video I did it in Arabic. I'm gonna do again the same exact video, and I'm gonna do it in English to expose him even more, really. That video of Zakir Naik. He says the two seas, the sweet sea and the salty sea, they don't meet, which is an information mentioned in the Gilgamesh era, okay? In the Gilgamesh story. It's an information mentioned by Aristotle in his book, the archaeology book, okay, chapter 3. Go ahead and read it. Aristotle, 1,000 years before Islam, he mentioned that. He mentioned about embryology and all that kind of stuff. Embryology in the Quran is actually false. It's a laughable matter, really. Embryology, really, it's a laughable matter. It's taken from Aristotle and Galen, and really with some tweaks here and there. And he mentioned what else? The cycle of water, which is also the Greeks mentioned it 1,000 years before Islam. So nothing new again here. And he mentioned some other stuff, really. And how dare you to claim that there is scientific miracles in the Quran when your God in the Quran states clearly that he created earth first before anything else in the universe. Before anything else in the universe, he created earth first. Then he created the stars, the sun. Does that go really according with science? Really, like, how dare you to claim that there is scientific stuff? And the other claim that we created everything alive from water. And again, what's his name? Thales, the philosophical mind, Thales. Again, I think again, 1,000 years before Islam, he mentioned that. He said literally, water is the cornerstone of life. Okay. So that's all, folks. That's a short video about 5 proofs that God exists. Again, as you see, they are non-proofs. They're just arguments, and pure philosophical arguments, and pure also subjective arguments. That's the problem. The problem with the religious people, because it's very subjective. If he's a Muslim, he's gonna tell you the exact same argument as the Christian does. And the Muslim and the Christian, they're gonna tell you exact the same argument as the Jew does. And the Jew and the Christian and the Muslim, they're gonna tell you exact the same argument as the Hindu. And the Hindu and the Christian and the Muslim and the etc., they're gonna tell you exact the same argument as the Mormon or a Scientologist. They are exact the same arguments. The only difference is different name of gods and different traditions to worship this God. Other than that, they are exact the same philosophical arguments that has no scientific value whatsoever. That has no scientific evidence on it whatsoever. Again, you broke, guys. Give up. Please give up. Just go and worship your religion. Go and worship your God. But don't claim that you have evidence and you have proof, okay? I respect your faith. Be faithful. I'm not going to tell you be an atheist, okay? But just respect our brains, okay? Respect our minds. I'm open-minded enough, but I'm not open-minded enough that my skull will open and my brains will fall out. And to deny all reason, rationality, and logic, okay? I am open-minded enough to accept that you're a religious guy following a certain religion and worshipping a certain God. I will accept that. But when you drum day and night, excuse me, here is a drum. When you drum day and night and you say, hey, I have logical proof, I have scientific proof. In that sense, you're going to see me and other people debunk your bullshit. With ease, by the way. With ease. Their arguments are not even that hard to debunk and to refute. So don't expect that you have really hard arguments. Not even that. Your arguments are really weak. Really weak, illogical, and unscientific. And they are weak philosophically weak. That's all, folks. As usual, all the love, all the respect, and cheers, and all the kisses to you. See you.